A very good evening to everybody watching. Thank you for joining us tonight on the agenda. My name is Toiwan Jabela. Tonight on the platform, we are joined by Dr. Leake Hangala. He is a renowned Namibian Namibian business person. Of course, farming is also part of what he does, but he is doing wonders more with the Hangala Group, where he is a non-executive director. And we are here to talk about his legacy and his views on a number of issues in our country as far as business is concerned. Thank you very much, Doc, for making time. It's a pleasure to have you. How are you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah, no, wonderful. You started, I think, post-independence, immediately after independence. One of your first assignments was as a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Mines and Energy. I wonder how those days were. It's a new government, it's a new country, and you are put into these positions to sort of lead, especially a very critical ministry like Mines and Energy. If you can share with us just some of the perspectives from that time.
I think they were exciting times.
Yeah, yeah.
It was at the beginning. We had absolutely great leadership.
Yeah, yeah.
In terms of President Nuyoma and those experienced ministers around him. Prime Minister Hage Geingob, Idipa Mtenya, Afio Ben Guriarap, Chiriange, Nasa Angola, and these people had already experienced before independence. I had a great honor and privilege to work under Minister Ataivo.
Yeah, yeah.
And when we started the ministry, it was Comrade Helmut Angola was the deputy minister.
Okay, okay.
And therefore, it was a period of transforming from old system to a new system,
Yeah.
of putting up laws, whether laws for mining, exploration, laws related to oil exploration and production, and issues also related to electrification. We had also a privilege of our government organizing international community to help us.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and you realize it later when you see institutions, individuals, and state facilities that have been built from the beginning.
Yeah.
So it was exciting and also a learning period.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just remind me, Doc, if during that time, around which time did the government acquire its stakes in Namdeb, this 50%? Was it during your time there you had already left?
Yes, it was during my time.
Okay.
And just immediately after independence, and I had the privilege to be appointed as the head of the negotiating team.
Okay, okay.
Where we had a number of people and also experts from the Commonwealth that were supporting us. And we were reporting to the Cabinet Committee chaired by the Prime Minister, Hage Geingob. It's where we negotiated with Anglo American or the Beers, and the birth of Namdeb was then realized, where we created a 50-50 partnership, optically, though financial take a little bit more for Namibia than that is when publicly said. So it was around that time.
Okay.
And then we also had an arrangement of governance where the BIAS chairperson, Nikki Operahema, became the chairperson, and Namibian appointee become deputy chairperson. So I had the privilege to be deputy chairperson of Namdeb, representing government from the beginning. And then we appointed Meme Inge Dhamwani as the MD.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Walk us through that process, because now, as you know, there's a huge debate in the country about equities in our mining concessions and whatnot. in the Namdeb case, was the 50% donated to us? Was it, did we buy that equity? How did we get it?
Well, we did not put up fiscal money,
Yeah.
but we also had the natural resources, diamond by then, and some infrastructure, land and so on. So we did not put up fiscal money, so we got it through negotiations and through understanding, and most of it was through the combination of taxes and realities as well as dividend then. Yeah, but we don't put up fiscal money.
So in other words, you came up with a formula that you say, look, instead of putting up cash or whatever, we will maybe only take this much from dividends and then you keep some as part of our payment. So we didn't get it for free in a true sense of the word.
Well, it was also a matter of negotiations.
Yeah.
We told the BS and Agora American that for many years you've been exploiting Namibians. You got your part already. So Namibians, time now for Namibians to get their part. And therefore we did not necessarily need to put up money.
Okay.
And it was also, we also helped by Botswana, who already had that arrangement in Botswana with the BS. And they went through the similar arrangement. It's only when Botswana went to buy extra equity in the BS, that they put up cash. But not in the Botswana itself.
Yeah. If that template, if we have had that template, Doc, since the 1990s already, the template is there to say it can actually be done. Why are we struggling to replicate the same success in other mineral sectors?
Well, I don't, the success in terms of ownership or in terms of the management of the company?
No, ownership in particular, because that is what Namibians are saying now. We only have 10% in Swakopmund, in Husab we only have 3%, government only has 3% in Rosing and stuff like that. So people are saying, what is it that was done with Namdeb that cannot be done with similar companies?
A number of issues. Number one, there was a number of packages. One of the package with regard to Namdeb is the upskilling and training of Namibians. It is the Namibians to participate in management. And we were very adamant that the MD of Namdeb must be a Namibian. But also we gave the technical management to the BS because they had the capacity and the experience, and that helped. It also helped for them, for us to ensure that we acquire latest technology and skills. So it's also decision making in the board, which basically is a 50%, but it's a consensus. It also a commitment that we give to the company to invest in Namibia, but also in research. So it's not only the issue of equity, but it's a package that really transforms a company in the country. And if you then go further now, if you go to Rosing, for example, we inherited ownership in Rosing that was owned by the South African government. And when our government when our country became independent, we then took over that. It was an arrangement that the South African government did when Rio Tinto was establishing Rosing, and Iran had also equity there. And then the South Africans said, South African government said, we want to have a small minority equity, but they had a veto right on anything because they wanted to make sure that the usage of uranium is properly controlled from the South African government. So I had also privileged to be the government representative on the Roosing board when we came. So, and I had the veto right. If there's something that we don't want, I put up my hand, and the resolution could not go through. But it was a totally different arrangement. So when we look now, and these things differ from product to product. Diamond is not copper. And it's not uranium. And there was a time, long time, when uranium prices were very much down. So therefore the economic benefit were not the same as diamonds.
Do you think, Doc, that what is the best model? Is there even such a thing as a best model to sort of have a much better equitable stake in these things? You are reminding yourself right now through EVI in B2 Gold, just without, to the extent that you can. What can you tell us about just the process of acquiring equities in a big mine as that?
Well, let us start with the fundamental. The fundamental is that it's important for local people to have ownership in the natural resources or in the economy. We have seen the economies in the world where there's a massive local ownership that are managed professionally and properly. That go ahead. You can go to South Korea, go to Japan, you can go to many European countries. So therefore, I don't think there is a question of that even foreign investors that are against the Namibians having ownership in the economy, in natural resources. And it's not only equity ownership that's important, is that they must participate in the management, the natural resources. They must participate in provision of services and goods, so the whole value chain, and they must have also the skills to do so. It's the whole package. The issue is how you do it. Naturally, there's nobody who wants to give things free of charge. So, for example, in B2 Gold, there's a consortium of a broad-based Namibian mine workers union, women, church, business people. We negotiated to buy in about 15% into B2 Gold. And we could go higher. Then we went to raise money from the banks, DBN, Net Capital, and so on. In fact, we could not raise enough capital to go to 15. We only come up to 10 that we have now. But it was not carried. It was purchased. We also negotiated that, okay, when you come to governance, we also would want to participate in the board. So it was agreed contractually that every nominees, one of the every nominee should be a chairperson of the local company here. And there's also another nominee. So that's negotiated. And then negotiated that we must participate in the decision making of the company. But also then forced a program that the company must invest in Namibia.
Yeah.
So it's a process that we took. It was not free, not at all.
Yeah.
So therefore, I think, having said that, it's important for Namibians to participate in the local natural resources in terms of ownership, in terms of management, and in terms of benefit.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Without threatening foreign investor.
Yeah.
To me, the two are not mutual exclusive of having local ownership and also attracting foreign investors. Most of the foreign investors, they have done that in their own country.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to Canada, it's the Canadians that are running those mines. If you go to Australia and so on. So we want to do the same. So we must first clear up front that, for example, in mining, the problem in mining is usually at exploration stage. That's where the risk is.
Yeah.
But if you can agree that when you get a mining license, locals can buy in. And then I think government must help the local people how to acquire those equities. It's very important that because in Namibia it's very difficult to get access to capital. It's expensive, you don't have it, you must have guarantees. Namibians maybe should put up a fund to help local Namibians participate. And I'm saying local, I don't mean black only.
Yeah.
We have white compatriots who are as poor as anybody else for over the last 30 years or so. So it's Namibians that must go in. So help them financially. Unfortunately, I think the government want to come up with legislation because unfortunately left it on its own. Either foreign investors or anybody will not allow Namibia to come in. I think it's important to have it legislated that Namibians must be allowed to participate because it will not come on its own. If it could come on its own, it could have come already.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's one of funding for that equity. And it does not matter what percentage.
Yeah.
Whether 51 or it doesn't matter. I think what matters is what you can afford and what the other partner want.
Yeah.
If you have a lot of money, why not buy a majority? But do you also have enough balance sheet to carry the company? Because if you have 51%, you also must have enough balance sheet to carry the company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, that's one area of how we fund Namibian participation.
Yeah.
But the other thing that foreigners are concerned about is the governance and decision making. Does it mean when you have 51% at the board, you also have 51% of the vote? That sometimes is the one that chases foreigners away.
Yeah.
Because they may fear that you just block or veto the decisions. So the governance decision making must also be very clear and fluent and transparent. Because I cannot bring in money and I'm not allowed to take certain decisions. So it's capital that must be very clear how to fund your equity, but also the governs the decision making.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's a very important point, Doc, that you are raising, because we saw the Minister of Mines speaking this week, announcing actually for the first time perhaps, that the intention is for government to own 51% in all future mining activities, new mines and whatnot. What has not come out very clear is whether this will be free carry or there will be a formula to venture into that. If it's free carry, it's going to be very, very difficult. Which investor in their right state of mind is going to pump their money into exploration and then is setting up the mine and only retain 49% and surrender essentially the majority stake in the thing under such circumstances?
I don't think the minister said 51% for Namibian state. I think he said for Namibians.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Including individual Namibians.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the minister is expressing the frustrations of many Namibians who are seeing that the Namibia is a wealthy country, but Namibians are poor, they are not participating. I think he's bringing out the frustration, the sentiment and desire of Namibians. So therefore, he's saying, look, we have to eat the omelette, and therefore to eat the omelette, we must crack the egg.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's just cracked the egg, that this thing must move.
Yeah, yeah.
I also hope that the government will come out clearly with regard to acquiring those equity by Namibians, whether through state or individuals. I personally will promote both, because it's important for wealth to be in the hands of ordinary Namibians, to create capital. We must create our own Dagotes in Namibia, who can also go invest somewhere. So it must be a combination of state and individuals, so that we have industrialists from all corners of Namibia, and people also that participate. So that's why it must be very clear how that equity is being bought, and it differs from industry to industry, but also from investors to investor. There are investors who want to carry their partners in one way or the other. Also, the issue of governance must be very clear, so that foreigners are not threatened. So decision making. And I have all the hope that as we discuss this issue of participating in natural resources, there will be clarity.
That policy certainty.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very important.
Absolutely. We go for a very short break and return with Dr. Leake Hangala.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Hi, welcome to We Talk, your weekly hub for inspiring stories and community highlights. In Talk of the Town, we bring you the latest news from Windhoek and the surrounding towns. Need weekend plans? The We Chill segment has the coolest and best events lined up for you. For all the foodies, We Dine explores the hottest dining spots, and for We Do Business, we celebrate the inspiring entrepreneurs. Finally, We Care celebrates the heroes making a difference in their communities. So don't forget to catch We Talk every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25.
Our very exciting conversation with Dr. Leake Hangala continues on the agenda. Now, Doc, maybe the last conversation on this particular topic. Just paint for me a picture of how extensive it is to run a mine or to acquire a 10% in a mine. Because that is the conversation. People think that they are too simplistic in their narration of how we can do this, but apparently it's not an easy thing.
No, it's not easy. I mean, and that's the difference between having natural resources and ownership in natural resources, and having participation in running a mine. So it acquires capital. I mean, in Pendi, when B2 Gold was developed, the beginning 2015 or so, it was 3 billion Namibian dollar that went there. Even West, Deb Marine, it's higher. I'm sure who's up. So capital is very, but skills to manage the mine in a more technological advance, the environment, Unfortunately, human being cannot see what is on the ground. So we must have, under the ground, we must have the technology, must have the equipment, must have the skills. These are very, very important. And all issues, soft issues surround that. And that's what you want Namibians to participate in. From skills, management, governance, technological know-how. It's the whole package that we would want, including the ownership, of course. And having been in the industry for a long time, I've seen that Namibians have learn very fast. And particularly if you have good artisans. These things are run by artisans. Guy from Namdeb who have, learned something about electricity, metal separation, all these kind of things. So we need a very strong skill base, particular artisan skill base.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's possible, we've done it, and we just continue to do it at a very higher international standard. That's what you want. Yes.
How has the returns been for you as Evie? The returns, how have they been?
Good. The return has been good. Simply for two. Number one, we have a very good partners. The mine is run by Namibians. There are maybe one or two Namibians. It's run professionally, but with the help of the international partner with experience. The gold price has been helping. So any investment at this time in gold has been good, particularly it's run very well, and if the gold is there. Yeah. And when it's broad-based, the benefit of that return spread widely to the churches, to business people, entrepreneurs who are participants in that.
Yeah, definitely. But walk us through your transition also from this senior civil servant, a PS, of course you became MD of Nampower, but even leaving Nampower eventually to become as successful as you have been so far, because people are scared. The reason why our ministers don't want to leave cabinet, they are scared of that uncharted territory. Fellow permanent secretaries, they are hanging on to the hope that they get an extension because they're so scared. And I know not everybody is business minded and not everybody is going to be as successful as Dr. Hangala. But walk us through that transition just to really become where you are today.
I think it depends on the calling of individual. There are some people who are very happy just to be a civil servant. So when we started in 1990, I told my minister at table that I will do my national service, work for 5 years, and then go to private sector. I wanted that orientation already. Just when there was maybe 6 months before my 5 years, and I was preparing, the minister came to me at table, government, that they want me to go to Nampower. So I could not refuse. I went to Nampower. I said I will go for 5 years. I've been there 10 years. But I also had a privilege of being exposed to one of well-managed industries, being on the board of Roosing International Company. In the process, I became the chairman of Standard Bank at Nampower itself. So you get the exposure of know-how of managing. But I think I had also inclination to go to private sector. So psychologically, professionally, and emotionally, I think I was already ready for that from the beginning. And not all people
of course.
can be business people.
Yeah.
Everybody has her own calling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's also this big debate around issues of tenders and middlemen. Did you go through any of that to become what you are? Is that the necessity to become that?
Well, if you, it depends on industry. There are industry that you need to go through tender, like construction, whether private or public tender. When I went to form Hangala Group, I mean, we trade for our name, Hangala. So, and that is the only thing we have, our name. We have to protect it. So we're very strong on ethical issues, ethical in transparency. So we would want to do business that's clear and transparent and protected our name and heritage. So therefore avoid a number of issues.
Yeah, and do you as an indigenous Namibian business feel that you are operating in a good policy environment, the taxes? I mean, people complain, for example, that the corporate tax in Namibia is actually one of the highest in the region. I think we are at 32%. Botswana is at 22%. And it's what I ask people to say, man, what is our selling point? Because people used to say, oh, we have peace and stability, come and invest in Namibia, which is a very, very small market. Someone on this show the other time said that the number of visitors to Namibia, foreign visitors, the tourists, is 3 million per year on average, while the waterfront mall in Cape Town attracts about 10 million people a year. So our market is so small. So what are these unique offerings that incentivize people like yourself to be encouraged to invest? Well,
I would say it's not easy to be a local entrepreneur in Namibia. And where's a black entrepreneur? Nobody wants you. The whites don't want you. Government does not want you. Your fellow blacks don't want you. So you are literally alone. That's the feeling.
You're on your own.
You are on your own. And on your own you have no capital. Sometimes. So it's not easy. So therefore I appreciate now the discussion and the help to help local entrepreneurs. But it has not been easy. And when you compete with your compatriots and your counterpart from China, from somewhere, who have government support, you cannot compete. So therefore, I will urge that we put up a system really to help emerging Namibian entrepreneurs, men and women. Our generation, and maybe even your generation, you cannot rely on your family. There's no family heritage that you can use to jumpstart. So the only family heritage is the government that can support you. So it's not easy, it's tough, it needs resilience. Sometimes you can end up a lot of debt or unfinished promises. So therefore, I think there's a need for support and help. But that is how it is. So we need to create environment. Those who were pioneers, it has been a struggle. Yes, some of the policies are not clear. Some of tax regimes are not necessarily helpful to help that somebody get cash and cash flow to help. So it's a tough environment.
I can imagine.
And if you particularly work ethically.
But that is also, I mean, in my editorial on Friday, I wrote about what is happening in court now is a public is of public record now. This, I suppose you could call them black businesses that were granted an opportunity to do business, a 15-year contract with the Ministry of Defense worth millions of dollars. And what we are hearing as to what has transpired is just scary. And you say, but this is what you are trying to say local businesses must get an opportunity to really grow themselves, to invest in their own growth, not to go and build mansions in the villages and all these kind of things. These things are not helping the narrative.
Yes, but we must also not throw the baby with bathwater just like that. I think there are those few Namibians, I would say few, who misuse the opportunity, stealing from their employees and from state. It's not acceptable. But there are many ordinary, honest Namibians there who work day and night very hard. So that should not really take away our support and commitment to help so many Namibians. There are those few Namibians who have done so, and we naturally are tainting the image of those given the responsibility and opportunity. But that's few. I'm happy that we have strong laws, and the laws deal with that. So it's not good. I'm not worried where they invest their money. Of course, some went to what we call mansion. Maybe it could have been nice to build a church or community hall or clinic or whatever. But more important, also the money has been kept here in the country. I'm sure there must be a Namibian contractor who has been. And that's the importance of having Namibians participating in the economy. The money will be left here rather than going out. And for Namibians, that money will go to the villages, to the relatives, to the community where they come from.
But the concept, you are right, Doc, completely. But that concept of reinvesting into the growth of an entity, I don't see a lot of that. You go to the coast, people have fishing quarters, they sell their fishing quarters, they get money, and they go do some of these things. Instead of saying, okay, I have the money now, instead of relying on the Spanish people to come and partner with me in the sea, we can now set up our own companies. I just feel that this condition that is within us that is not very, we don't invest, we want to buy nice cars and big houses, but you don't see a lot of that money being reinvested into really growing these entities. I don't think Old Harbour and List was built to become what it is today by having car list, buying expensive things and all that. I don't know.
And that's the difference. I think we Namibians have not sat down and discussed properly, for example, what we do for the fishing industry. You go to every village and get individual and say, I give you a fish quota. Naturally, they go for money. Carl List was an entrepreneur who wake up day and night to build a business. So it was Harold Pupkewicz. So was Francis Ndongo. So they will not sell their quota. So this concept of picking up people there, and say, yes, they even do want cash. I think the problem is not with them, it's the formula we use. We must create Namibian entrepreneurs. And it is not us who christening them that, Toivo, you're an entrepreneur. It's Toivo who stand up and say, I'm an entrepreneur, and help that Toivo. So I think the formula of how we give quota, getting everybody from the village and say, you go now get the money, and but if you're an entrepreneur really, work day and night, you will reinvest in your company.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we must relook at the formula and how we use the money for our natural resources.
Yeah.
So sometimes we are, as a government and a society, we are own enemies.
Yeah, I agree totally.
Yeah.
Because I think really that the fishing quotas in particular, that we need to reform that. That's why sometimes lately I've been leaning towards this new strategy of the government auctioning fishing quotas and get direct cash to put into different developmental projects, as opposed to saying, okay, give to Toivo and I go there and there's really nothing coming out to the economy.
No, I also, imagine if we had 20 whatever lists, companies, whatever list employ how many people? Or imagine if you have 20 packages. One want to multiply these.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does not come only through auctioning. It comes by helping Namibia to build really sizable companies. That's what we would want. Up to now, you cannot tell me a big sizable company of a local owned fishing company.
Yeah, no.
We don't have it.
Yeah.
Because the fishing is given here and there.
Yeah.
And I always give it this example. There were farmers, the farmer who had the milk cows. He had 10 of them. And because of they were 10 or even 100, he could have a dairy and sell milk.
Yeah.
And then the revolution came and said, no, this is nonsense. Let us spread the economy. So instead of this farmer having these 100 cattle, let's have 100 individual. Each one has one cow.
Yeah.
Do you think that they will sell milk anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah? There's economy of scale that you need.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we are doing with our fishing. Instead of having a sizable individual of sizable quota, create jobs and have economy of scale, we are spreading it all over.
Yeah.
So instead of having 100 milk cows, we have given each individual a milk cow. Yeah. And that individual might have milk for his family, but not to bring to
the market
in window.
Yeah.
So we should think with our natural resources, including fishing, even mining. We must give it to people who build value and wealth out of it. Then spreading all over, having something but nothing.
Yeah. I totally agree, because the natural resources, Dr. Hangala, are not here forever. There are countries that had a particular mineral, and after hundreds of years of mining that particular mineral, it has now been finished. At Reinvestment, they are busy wrapping up operations there because diamonds are no longer as much as they used to be. But at least there's a legacy left behind in that town of infrastructure, good schools. Children of those miners were educated very well. They have become very prominent members of society. But my fear is that if we do not take advantage of our resources now, by the time we start, they'll be gone.
Yes, and to have the concept of wealth creation, because you can redistribute wealth, but distributing poverty is difficult. Which we are doing every day now. So therefore, we must create wealth, as the Norwegians have done in the oil industry, with the mining that we have to support. So we need really critical discussion and questions. So I still believe it does not help to take everybody from the village to have a fish quota, but it's important that for everybody in the village to benefit from money derived from fishing.
Yeah, yeah.
If we can have a formula that helps that, that's good.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, that communal beneficiation instead of individual beneficiation, I think, is important. The last question, Doc, you are a geologist by training, so that is mining, but you've also massive experience in the space of energy, having led NamPower for 10 years and having worked in the Ministry of Mines and Energy, of course. This, what is the future of Namibia's energy sector? There are oil discoveries being talked about, there's green energy being talked about, your hydrogens. Where must we lean more? I don't know if we can do it at the same time, but clean energy, or must we go with our fossil fuel and get the best out of it?
I think the future for Namibia in terms of energy can be very good. If we can harness the utilization of our sun, which is very good. I believe in gas, which is also clean energy. Gas for gas to power is very important. And I'm sure we have a lot of it, and we will have a lot of it for Namibia and for export. Namibia is well positioned to lead in the energy sector. Number one, we must take advantage of our sun to have renewable energy, solar. The concept of green hydrogen is very, very important, very good. We are becoming a leader. The discovery of gas, gas is so important. We can use our gas for power generation, for industrialization. So Namibia can be a net exporter of electricity in the region. I also have massive hope in the oil discovery. We just need to be upfront and clear uncertainties. Uncertainty in terms of certain policies that the government must pronounce itself and encourage those foreign companies to move towards final investment decision. So well handled, well managed, energy sector will play a very important role in the economy. And I also then support the participation of Namibians in the energy sector, to own power stations, to own, participate in the oil exploration, production, refinery, follow the value chain. So I have massive hope in the Namibian energy sector, and it can really boost our economy. And we must really move, particularly with regard to put up a gas power plant in Namibia and gas-based industries. And then move to LNG. I mean, one of Trump demand to Europe is that they buy their LNG from America, and there are those buying their LNG from Russia, particularly India and so on. Namibia can be a very big exporter of liquefied natural gas, LNG, and therefore make energy sector a strong base for our economy. But we must be clear and transparent and upfront in terms of policy certainty.
It's a very good important. It's a very important point. The parting point there of certainty, I think, is important, Doc, because and I don't know what is happening, because you hear this from investors all the time, that this NEF thing that we wanted to implement, where is it now? We want to come to Namibia, but we don't want to. On the day of arrival, you are told there are mandatory free carried equities that you must give out and whatnot. So if we can just have that clarity of policy, so that the people can decide whether to come here or not. So it's a very, very good point. But thank you, Doc, for making time. I really appreciate this conversation.
Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you and to your listeners.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
That is Dr. Leake Hangala. He's the non-executive director of the Hangala Group, and also participating in various sectors of the Namibian economy, telling us the challenges and opportunities that the country has in that regard. Thank you for watching.